Magical Realm GM. What kind of magical realms would you want to run? I personally would want to GM a game where the focus is that the world is full of monster girls that steal men from races who have them for their use of breeding slaves, with the party either being the women that go to rescue men or the monster girls that go to steal men.
Is that not the of Guys and Goblins story that we did before?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Sounds like an awful lot like it.
Yeah. One where I find a girl that loves me for who I am. Oh,
Don't have me in the feels like that. That's a big sad for me. That's a very big sad. The worst thing is, it's the most realistic one out of them all.
Yeah. Monster girls are literally the most embarrassing fetish I've ever witnessed.
No, there's far worse. There's
far worse. Even furries are better. No.
No,
because at least they just see it as a fetish instead of wish fulfillment.
I mean, like, is it not all wish fulfillment?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it all is.
There's this sexy, super strong woman who for some reason loves weak, pathetic nerds like me. And she needs my semen to survive. And despite being a crazed sex fiend, is also completely monogamous and will only love me and only have sex with me. Literally every monster girl creature is just a mix of your mom and a dog. A perfectly loyal pet who also takes care of you so you can continue to live your useless life without ever having to improve yourself. Like, I guess as a concept they're okay, but anyone specifically into them as outlined by the Monster Girl Encyclopedia is one of the saddest types of human beings to exist. Guardbro enters reach.
Yeah, hold up there.
Guardbros enters the chat.
What incarnations?
OP might not even be one of those types, but it is so ingrained into my psyche that the basic concept of Monster Girl repulses me on a visceral level, since it would mean being affiliated with the fanbase.
I think he actually brought up some really solid points, if I'll be honest with you. But I'm not really over familiar with Monster Girl shit, bar anthropomorphic anime girl.
Well,
with
are short stacks monster girls?
I wouldn't count them as. No, Monster Girls are really fucking weird, if I be honest with you, because it's more just like a really weird anime aesthetic, I would describe it as. But he is right, it's like a mix between your mum and a dog. Yeah, no, that's right. I think that's actually the funniest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid assessment.
Military fantasy on a border world with an android girl, PMCs, warning over territory and resources. Ultra-violent and with mechanics for characters to keep fighting through loss of limbs, fatal wounds, etc. Every PC is a mainframe located somewhere else and gets re-uploaded to a new body after each death. Players track deaths and gain corruptions with each one, becoming deadlier but more psychologically fragile. Basically, Necronica with less body horror.
I actually think that sounds pretty cool, if I'll be honest with you. It's very transhumanist, and it also sounds an awful lot like Violators, if I'll be honest with you. So again, I feel like
Guardbro enters the chat.
I feel like Guardbro's getting really called out in this video, even though he's never brought into it at all. I really feel like it's like, do you want to is this going to be the video where we just laugh at Guardbro for half an hour straight? That's kind of what that's what I feel like this is going for.
You're gods that were imprisoned inside the body of little girls. If your body dies, you die. The features. You're ageless and never grow up. You can use god powers once a day. Nobody takes you seriously.
This is just Meatlix. This is literally the Meatlix.
Yeah, but little girls edition.
Yeah, pretty much is actually. Yeah, that is.
Probably a solo game for a partner to play in that would probably just amount to a particularly sexy game of made RPG. Thing about ERP is you really need willing, enthusiastically consenting players. Yes!
Yeah, I think we've been over this before, but yeah.
And that includes you, the GM. So the smaller the group, the generally better. As a player, there's a decent variety. A slaver campaign, a corruption campaign, but being the GM means I need to get something out of it too. So normally I'll just settle for a subtle reference here or there, a lollybaba here, a subtly dom/sub dynamic couple there, things that fill in the world but don't distract or demand attention.
Well, I mean, I think this guy's at least onto something. I feel like at least he's definitely pointed out the defining traits of how to not have a complete shit show, which is which is kind of nice.
And having a good ERP session with willing, enthusiastically consenting players.
That's all you ask for, and I think that's. I think he's onto something here.
I think as well, the way he says probably a solo game for a partner to play in. It's a good. It's a good way to maybe have bring your partner into the world of like D&D, but also have like
I don't know if I would do that.
No, just a solo game, so it's just you and them playing.
Yeah,
you can have like a couple of drinks and have like a sexy night.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know if that's a good. I don't think that would be the best way to introduce someone.
If anything, you'll probably, have sex afterwards. It doesn't
really
matter.
Like you're gonna get your hole. So yeah, pretty much.
If you're with that person.
Yeah, I think it's it's something interesting, something maybe a bit different.
I call it the newborn nightmare. All women have really big boobs with great skin, but none of them have nipples.
That's uncanny valley shit going on. That's actually kind of funny. But so does that mean do they ever have their tits out? This is one thing I always wonder about. Right? So when it comes to like us, would then, if women didn't have nipples, would they then be considered sexual? Because you cover let's be honest with you, women may as well with all the cleavage, everything. It's just to cover up the nipples.
It is just literally. So it's just to cover up the nipples.
Is that then, if you don't have nipples, then is it removing the?
But why do men can walk about with their nipples?
Because no booba.
No booba.
No booba. Honestly, this type of question. I've honestly got no idea. I really have no idea.
Yeah, would boobs be considered sexual if there was no nipple? There would just be like massive skin tags at that point.
Yeah, they have said there are massive skin tags, but they would have no purpose.
They have no purpose
if you don't have the nipple. So, what do you guys think? What's more important, the actual bibba or the nipple? I'm gonna keep calling them bibbas for the day. I love that. That one of the Pepe with the eyes. I don't know why. I think that shit's really funny, if I'm being honest with you guys.
1910s-esque fantasy with lots of erotic horror elements. Probably veering deep into Ryona and Goro instead of H.R. Geiger stuff though. I'm more about the fallen depravity, or the full brutality of getting raped by monsters, and not all the getting TF'd into a meat cube type stuff. I have prepared off and on between all my normal games in the hopes of one day running this shit, but narrowing the player base from people who ERP to people who ERP snuff in not. What?
Okay.
Bloodborne means finding players is difficult, to say the least.
I mean, look, I feel like whenever you're doing 1910s, Lovecrafty and shit, where's your tentacles at, boy?
Yeah.
Where you getting your tentacles? I get the whole meat cube stuff. I kind of get the body horror.
Yeah. I hear 1910s erotic horror, and it's just Lovecraft.
It's just Lovecraft, essentially, and I just can't. You can't do Lovecraft without tentacles and black. Some reason black oil or black liquid,
yes.
And I don't know where the black oil comes from.
I don't want to know where it comes from.
It's always, it's always. I don't know where it comes from, but it does always appear.
Right, you slimy gets. As you know, we got all the gobble slaves hard at work keeping the printers tickety-boo. Some of them are even getting a bit sex deprived and start making naughty models of their own.
Ooh.
But at the minute, we only paying them in bottles of water. But if you buy models from us, we'll be able to pay them 1 gold piece a week. That's proper good wages for gobbles of gat. But if big titty goblins aren't what you want, we got it all. We got dwarves, elves, illifids, demons, kobolds, all that, and even some of them ugly humies. But you can only get it on that Neckbeardia.co something. I'll get one of the goblins to do it. They're more tech savvy than me. Also, we got more than just models. We got a lot of them subclasses and pre-made adventures too. Proper good that. We play it down Thursday night down the local tavern. We get a pint of grog and we sit down and play it. Big Morgie last week played as that crackhead monk, and he was actually quite good at it, seeing as he's not right in the head ever since the barmaid whacked him for smacking his tits. But, yeah, go over and check it out. That's all me. That's me, darling. See you back. Bye!
Setting has no human males. Females breed by banging monsters. Because the offspring inherit some of the strength of their monster parents, there is a demand for going out and finding the rarer, stronger monsters that resist domestication and cannot be kept in captivity in order to get knocked up.
Why are people like this? Why are you guys like this? Why do you want to fuck animals all the time? I feel like a lot of the time whenever they do this, it's just humans, but we're you know, like a wolf head or some shit.
Yeah.
You know
or
what I
like
mean?
insanely strong with horns.
Yeah, it's like Minotaur, essentially. Just change the face about
But
maybe.
this isn't getting a monster mummy. This is about getting a monster daddy. It is, though?
Yeah, it is. It fucking is. I don't know how far this goes further. Like, you know, in a setting, like, how can you... I suppose is this just a creation story for monster girls? Kind of, maybe. I don't know.
My stuff is fairly simple. A bit higher focus on dragons, kobolds, and the like, perhaps. Cross special love. All my other fetishes are shadows compared to this. How many fetishes do you have?
Don't call it... This is my shadow form. This isn't even my final form.
I want the brave Sir Knight to take responsibility after a vile dragon took advantage of him. I want him to loyally stand by her side, slowly changing her as she changes him. Is this Shrek? Is he Donkey? Until they both are something more between.
You know what? Is Donkey responsible for the bard fucks the dragon? Because I'm pretty positive it was fucking Donkey that started that shit.
I want them to raise a child together and watch with a mix of pride, sadness, joy, and worry as she ventures out. I want the dragon to be the one who has to intervene as she returns with a young bard on her shoulders, and the knight takes issue with him.
God damn it, Donkey! What the fuck have you done, Eddie Murphy?
I want him to grow old with her, as she uses her draconic and wild magics to extend his life, shortening her own in the process. I want that young daughter and her grandchildren to play beneath the tree atop the hill. The two of them were buried on.
I mean, that is very sweet. Like, you know what it reminds me of? I feel like, you know what it is? He's reskinned the Aragorn and what's her name? Arwen. That's what it feels like to me. It is. He has just taken the core elements.
But it seems like a long way to go for a monster special. It just seems from meeting the children to them being dead, having grandchildren, and them at the tree where they're buried. It seems like a long way to go.
I mean, like, do you really want to like feel that much when you just want to come? I mean, like, I thought the whole process of this was like, you know, like, it's just a Kim. Why you gotta add in feels on top of that?
Why you gotta bring this into the mix?
Yeah.
I have many magical realm elements in my setting, but all are hidden enough that the players would only have to interact with it if they wanted to. I.e., they will only find it if they went out of their way to look for it. Most of it revolves around some sort of magic-induced transformation via the use of chaotic magic.
I can't take the word chaotic magic. I always think of Sonic the Hedgehog, the Chaos Emeralds. Anytime anyone uses the word chaos magic, I just feel like it's
Gonna go fat.
Yeah, essentially, I can't help but feel of cold steel.
Though it's overall quite rare due to the stigma attached to a field of magic which commonly causes madness, demonic possession, and horrific mutation. Such things derived from this include a variety of magically created rare diseases which result in a variety of mental and physical transformations over time if infected. Oh, syphilis. Nice.
Is this like another form of like bug chasers? Yeah. You know, like you know the ones that go out of the way that want to like collect STDs.
Yeah.
Is this maybe like another form of it?
Oh, I don't know. Very rare communities of slime girls originating from the magical experiment. A transforming slime symbiote derived from the above. Sort of like a much more sexualized Venom.
I mean, let's be honest.
So Tom Hardy wasn't enough for you?
Like, we all know Venom is just the gimpy BDSM version of Spider-Man.
I don't know. I seen fucking Tom Hardy playing well fucking gimpy.
Well, I don't mean gimpy in the sense of that, but like I'm talking about gimpy in the sense of latex. But let's be serious, all superhero shit has kind of got that undertones.
That gimp undertone?
Yeah, they kind of do. Well, let's be serious. Like,
run about in tights and shit.
Well, why is it that they always wear tights? Like, come on.
Magically created skin suits derived from the above, which give the wearer a predetermined set humanoid form. Succubi, with innate shape-shifting abilities commonly working in brothels.
Yeah, why don't succubi just like not run brothels all the time?
Yeah.
It feels like that was what they should be in it for.
Yeah, it feels like that's the obvious thing to do. You know.
I feel like, you know what one of the other things is? I feel like succubi, you never...
Suck your dick.
Suck your dick. Yeah. Well, yeah, they do that. But I feel like, you know, when it comes to like a lot of the stories that we do, normally you would think they're underutilized.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Yeah, I think...
It's kind of like femboys. I feel like anytime we do stories like this, you never hear anything talking about femboys.
Yeah, you very rarely hear about succubi.
Yeah, it's dead unusual.
Other things in the setting related to magical realm include most humanoid beings retaining quite a youthful appearance until older age, i.e. aging is a lot more graceful. Very Amazonian orc women. Very sexually active goblins to make up for their short lifespan.
These are fucking rats.
Some amount of female knights and women warriors. Form-fitting latex-like clothing derives from the rendering down of common slimes into a sort of rubbery leather.
See, I told you there was definitely a BDSM shit going on here.
Easily produced potions.
Potions?
Fuck me. Easily produced potions which allow for minor but permanent cosmetic changes, i.e. change hair, eye colour, skin smoothing, hair removal, etc. As well as contraception and body odour removal potions.
Yeah, they would go down handy, so they would.
A generally more liberal social attitude towards expressing sexuality and casual sex. So, nowadays, basically.
Yeah, it does feel like that. Yeah.
Probably more, but those are what I have off the top of my head.
So the guy's definitely into some BDSM.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The slime is
Look
just
at the picture that's even attached. It's BDSM.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
If I can make somehow not weird, my players would probably run into some minor kingdom ruled by a queen where the upper class is comprised of nothing but a bunch of debauched nymphomaniac sex freaks, up to and including the queen herself. And
this is reality. Stop with all this. This isn't fantasy.
And I do mean sex freaks. I'm talking about stuff like exhibitionism being normal to the point of having your tits and pussy exposed in public is seen as nothing but a fashion statement. Male PCs would receive blowjobs on the spot as part of common courtesy, and that here talks about how grand the experience was at Lady Burnett's cum tasting party.
I love the idea of you're gonna have to suck the dick. It's like a handshake, it's just sometimes it's just common courtesy. You hold the door open for someone. Sometimes you get your dick sucked. Just saying, no homo, guys. That's what.
Stories shared about the times they had trying to suck a horse cock all the way to the bottom, or how Sir Gregor's firstborn is turning into a man soon, and the ladies of the house will have to compete with his mother.
Oh no.
For the coveted position of becoming the acceptable for his first cream pie.
Where do you think the incest porn has been coming from? I think it's been definitely exploding.
I know where it's coming from, but I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
The High Queen herself would have no king simply because no man is equipped enough to put a leash on a woman whose sexual appetite would make Catherine the Great reconsider her life choices. PC negotiations with her would be spent less talking and more fucking her brains out, and telling her the ways they'd fuck her brains out later on. It's impossible for me to implement this in a setting in non-ERP game. I wonder why. But if I ever get the chance to drag my PC screaming and kicking into this particular magical realm, there's no way in hell I'm holding back. Until then, I'm perfectly satisfied with having all of my female NPCs having varying sizes of massive mommy milkers with a
booba
with a hidden note on each one reminding me whether they're supposed to be lactating at that current point in time or not. 90% of the time they are.
Ooh.
Does he think they lactate
all the time?
Monthly?
Yeah,
like a period?
I think he does. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's never seen Booba.
Yeah,
he'd never seen real life.
He'd never seen the Booba. But he brought up a really interesting point there. I think it was, if he does ever get the chance to do it, he's not going to hold back. Maybe that's why a lot of the times when we hear stories about it, it's so extreme.
Because they get a chance to actually.
They feel like, oh, you know what? I'm getting my foot in the door. We're gonna fucking do this, and we're not gonna pussyfoot about it. We're not gonna
all guns blazing. Yeah, hellfire and brimstone doing it.
But that kind of makes sense to me now. I think that adds up, and that it's another piece to the puzzle of the
ERP player.
Yeah.
Live in a big share house. It's for students, but there's no check. Practically anyone lived there. 2 strippers moved in. Find out about our weekly D&D game. Both of them enjoy hanging out with my girlfriend, who's around a lot, and also plays. They demand to play the game with us.
This sounds like an 80s movie.
This does.
This sounds like Bad Science or some shit.
This is where I should have offered to ERP with them or something. Alas. They want to be cool undead monsters. Decide to let them play as some form of undead elf ladies from the Iron Kingdoms book. They love it. Stat them up. One of them demands to have a bunch of piercings in her lady parts. Ah, yes, a great place for a ring of protection. What?
That's fucking...
That's class! Possibly a missed second hit, or there was no hints. Introduce them to the game. Whoa, thanks Anon, our characters are really cool. We're gonna go buy cigarettes. Use their characters as villains. Oh, whoa, how did we do? A battle? Really cool. We've decided we are also nerds who play D&D based on this one experience. Have fun, guys. Literally never take an interest again. That single, possibly completely imagined situation is probably the only time I have ever considered some kind of magical realm.
I mean, like, you know, they probably did want to, like, say, you know what, we'll give it a go, see what it's all about. But, like, then when they actually seen what's going on, it's like, you know what?
Girls to be into it.
No, I think I'll pass. But hey, pretty cool ring of protection, just saying.
Yeah.
What other items or what other magic items would be great for this sort of thing? So I'm going to assume an immovable rod would be an excellent dildo stand-in. Ring of protection, obviously.
What could a butt plug be?
Oh, butt plug. Again, I feel like a butt plug would just be an immovable rod, but it would be different than an immovable rod. Oh fuck, I'm having a hard time. I think
a bag of holding.
A bag of holding. Where'd your assholes a bag of holding for fuck's sake? What was the one we did actually? Where it was someone was playing a concubine with a bag of holding up their ass.
Oh yeah.
That shit was fucking hilarious. Also, you know, if you guys have any ideas for like magic items that you could reskin for some perverted uses, let us know down below. I think there's a few out there, but I'm having my mind's blank at the moment of time of recording.
As a rare female DM, my magical realm is being a terrible person. Like, I'm fairly vanilla in my tastes. I just like powerfully masculine monsters. But I like the context to be all about irresponsibility and general shallowness. ERP about a goblin whose brain was transplanted into a minotaur.
That sounds terrifying.
Sounds absolutely horrible. Could you imagine it?
That sounds bad.
Women are all over him, even though he's pretty weak and cowardly, because they can't see anything other than the Minotaur stud's body. His appeal is all in his appearance and muscles, but that's enough. Not a single person bothers to look deeper. They just want to fuck him because he looks powerful. Also, heavy metal style game. Protagonist is basically Den, i.e. nerd's consciousness ends up in an absolutely ripped body. Has many adventures, decides to take love interest back to his world. It's the responsible thing to do. When she sees how he really looks, she's actually disgusted and abandoned him for all the cock she can have.
Aww.
So, real life?
Yeah, it's something like that. That's Basically, yes. Yeah.
Real life, girls go after the musty good-looking guys and don't give the actual...
Well, it depends. Like, you know, not all women are like that. Like, you know, I would say there's only what percentage?
Well, they're the ones who go after guys like that are always the girls who complain that they can never find a guy.
Yeah,
because they always go after the assholes.
Mentally,
and the same with the guys as well. They just
go after girls that want to fucking live in their lives. Like they go out like you know,
and then they get to a certain age and they're like, Why am I not a dad yet?
Yeah, why have I not got my shit
together? Or why have I not got
yet?
my shit together at the age of 42?
Yeah.
You know, but I find people who are like that, who are like very good looking, very muscly, very like that. They always are in the worst types of relationships.
Well, that's because they're
too busy loving themselves to love somebody else.
Yeah, that's part.
Yeah.
I believe there definitely is part of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People that are too obsessed with themselves can't.
Coming from two little ugly goblins sitting at the end of this mic.
But, you know, the thing is, like, you see, like, okay, let's go for the very generic stereotype, you know, big, fat, ugly neckbeard, and he wants to go for, like you know,
that fucking Playboy bunny. It's like, it's never going to happen.
I'm sorry, but, like, you know, what do you think these two have got?
And then a really nice girl.
Do you have any, like, overlap? Do you have any, like, any overlap, any personality overlap, anything at all that you might get along with?
Yeah.
You know, yours are just, these are two different aliens to each other.
And then a really nice girl who actually likes him.
And he's like, no, I've got standards.
Because they're not super skinny, but big booba with blonde hair. He's like, no, I have standards, sorry. I'm like, well.
Yeah, there is definitely some twist to that, you know. But like people, you know, again, it's level of self-awareness. Like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of really ugly fellas out there that are like, you know what? No, I demand X, Y, and Z. It's like, you don't demand nothing, mate.
No, you'd be happy with what you get.
You're lucky if you get Billa. I think that's where we're going to end it there. There was some interesting fantasies there. I feel like a lot of them overlap in weird certain ways, and it's, you know, we recorded another video earlier and it was about furries, but I suppose this kind of mingles with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, sex and stuff overlaps so heavily with who you are as a person.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't feel like you can fully escape from. The best you can do is just be like I'm not gonna like plead it in front of people, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go off and wank to this whenever I get home, guys. And that's kind of what I feel like with a lot of this.
Or wank before you come to the table.
Yeah, just have it this, guys. Just wank before you even post. Wank before you show up. Just have a good wank before. You know what? That's a good goal for life.
Before you go anywhere.
Any decision.
Just so you don't have any horny thoughts.
Like, you gotta get that pussy ether out of you. So you need to just release the spunk. And then
clear the mind.
Clear the mind.
Soul.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
none of this no fab bullshit. Just do it.
I don't buy that. See the no fab shit. I think
that would drive you crazy.
I think it would as well. I have no idea how it works at all. But I'm sure it must work for some people. But then again, like, you know.
Well, good on you. You're a better person.
No, but a lot of those boys that like do the no fab thing, like, you know, you're talking like some of them boys are like serial wankers. Like, they wank like up to 10 times a day. I don't know how anyone's dick isn't in tatters.
I know.
I think I said this in a video not that long ago where a guy said his dick kept leaking because it damaged it from wanking that much because he was just pulling.
It just constantly. It was like a tap. It just
dripped. It just dripped. How badly are you wanking that? Like, guys, we're just gonna end the video here. Well, I feel like that really got blown out of proportion. Normally I would ask, like, so have you guys ever experienced this? But like, I don't think many of you will.
But what magical realms have you thought about that you would like to play? That maybe isn't completely
ERP? Something that's not completely perverted at the same time.
Let us know.
Let us know, yeah, sure.
Great. And while you're down there, check out the links to the website for the models, the subclasses, check all of that out. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a new video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!